Hi everyone, it's your friend Kyle from the library here, and today I'm going to do another fun STEAM activity with you using the materials that you will find in this Make and Take activity kit that you can get from the library. Now, today's STEAM activity is really going to focus on the art and the math and the technology side of STEAM because we're going to do an activity that uses random numbers and your artistic talents. But first, let's take a look inside our activity kit to see what kind of materials we're going to be using today. Okay, so in your activity kits, you should find a few different things. You should see a six-sided dice, like this one right here. You should also see a pencil that you can sharpen and use as your drawing tool. And then you're going to see 5 brightly colored pieces of paper, each with a bunch of strange looking markings on them, and we'll come back to these in a few minutes. But for now, let's just call these our matrix. Now there are a few things that you might find around home that you can also supply to make this activity a little extra fun. Some blank paper to draw on. If you don't have any blank paper lying around, then you could just use the back of one of the colorful pages that I supplied for you. You could also use your own markers or pencil crayons to draw with if you wanted to, but for today I'm just going to use my favorite black marker right here so that you can see what I'm drawing on this bright white piece of paper. And there we go. Now that we have our workstation set up, we can start by taking a look at our dice. Dice are very cool little devices. They require no power, they do not have any batteries to charge, and really, there's no place to even plug them into the wall. Dice are cubes, which means they have 6 equal sides, and on each side you will find a number between 1 and 6 etched into it, so that when we roll the dice, it will supply us with a random number between 1 and 6, depending on the side that it lands on. Dice are often found in board games because they can be used to generate random numbers and combinations that make the game feel more unpredictable. The probability that you will roll the same number again and again and again is very little. However, the probability that you will roll different numbers every time is quite high. For today's experiment, I'm going to roll the dice, and it gave me a 1. So I am going to take my pen and write the number 1 nice and clear in the top right-hand corner, just like that. And next, I'm going to take the brightly colored pages that I supplied you, and I know I gave you about 5 different ones here. For today, I'm going to just focus on the yellow one that is called Roll a Face. Let's take a look at our matrix, which is basically a fancy chart with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns going down the page, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows going across the page. Now you'll notice that each row lines up with a different number that can be found on your dice, which means that when we roll the dice on our first turn, the number that we get will determine the shape of the face that we draw. Let's do an example. On my first turn, I rolled a 1, which means that the shape of the face that I'm going to draw is a perfect circle. Let's do that right now. Maybe not a perfect circle, but close enough. Well, let's do another turn. So on our second turn, we are going to be determining the shape of the eyes that we're going to be drawing on our face. There we go. Let's roll the dice and see what we get. That's a 2. I'm going to write the 2 right here, and I'm going to check with my matrix, and I'm going to see that on my second turn, if I roll a 2, the eyes that I'm going to draw look like that. Let's do that. Well, I bet you can guess what we're going to do next. we are going to continue making rolls with our dice, and after each roll, we're going to write down the number on the right-hand side of our page, just like that. And after each roll, we're going to consult with our matrix to determine which shape we're going to draw on our face next. Let's give that a shot together right now. And ta-da! There you have it, a face that was randomly generated using a numeric code. I think he looks just like me. Well, maybe without the glasses. In your kit, I have included some other roll and draw activities, like this one that helps you draw a really funny looking cat, or this one that helps you draw some silly spiders. Well, thanks again for joining me for this STEAM Make and Take activity. My challenge for you this week is to keep rolling and drawing as many of those faces as you can, and let's find out what is the probability that you would draw the same face twice.